Okay. This is I Can't Wait for It with the Burner Trading Group. And today we're going to be going over candlesticks. I'm going to be doing a series of videos that are going to be covering everything from candlesticks and up, covering Bollinger Bands and everything else that you're going to see on my charts. So in hopes that one day you'll be able to understand what is going on with my charts. So let's go ahead and get started with what we have today, which is going to be candlesticks. And we're going to break this up into several different parts today. We're just going to kind of go over what makes a candlestick and what is it and how do I read them. And so if we start off right here, if you look, these red candles falling down right here, these are bearish candles. So, the red equals bearish. Bearish means going down or overvalued and dropping in price. Bullish is the green candles moving up onto the right over here, and bullish is moving up or undervalued and moving up in price. And so well, how are they formed? Well, if you look at this green candle here, which is a bullish candle, it opens at the bottom here, and as the price grows, it creates this green body. Well, what's this thing down here, this line down here? Well, that's a wick. And so if this candle was created and started here and then it started going down, it created a red body that looked like this. And then as the price moved back up, as the bulls got control and started outweighing the bears in this instance, it pushed the price action back up, leaving a wick behind like this, and then creating this green body as it went up. And it created an even longer green body as it continued to move up. And then by closer towards the end of the day, uh, the bears got in control and said, hey, this is way too overpriced, way too overpriced. And so they start pushing the price back down. And by the end of the day, it stops right here, which is the close. And so whatever's left over is the body, and whatever it went to and then came back off of, that is the wick or the shadow on both ends. And that's how this candle was created, leaving a very bullish candle. And so now this candle over here is it's a very bearish candle, and it's created pretty much the same way but opposite. So it starts at the top here versus the bottom, and as price action moved up, it created a green candle that looked very much like this, just the top part here. And then as the bears came in and got in control and said, hey, this is still overpriced, and start pushing the value back down, it leaves a little wick there, a little shadow, the wick. And then as price moved past this opening area here, it created a red body. And as it kept going down, it created even longer red body. And then, at some point in the day, the bulls got in control again and said, hey, this is way too cheap, or hey, this is a great price. And they jumped in and started pushing it back up and leaving behind this wick right here. And at the end of the day, it closes here, leaving this long red body and this long wick behind it from where it was or where it went to, as kind of like a tell of the history of the whole day and where the price action had went on this one candle. And so, well, how does that help me identify what the market is doing? Well, I mean, there's a lot of ways you can kind of look at it. Like, this little guy right here, kind of throw in one more thing into the mix. This is an indecision candle. And so whenever the body is 50% or less than the wicks that are on the body, if the wicks are greater than 50% of the body or equal to, then that is an indecision. And that's when the bears and the bulls kind of like stand at a standstill. And what's left behind is a very small body with a lot of wick. And so that's just a standstill between the two sides. And so this would be what's called a spinning top. This is called a pin top. And this one's also like a spinning top. And if I slide over this way, I'll find a doji. There's a doji right there, which looks like a cross. And so the doji is probably the strongest of the indecisions. And usually you'll find it at the, if you find it at the top or the bottom of a trend, you know, if it's green price action going up and you see a red, red indecision here and then a red candle following it, it's a pretty good sign that this is price action is going to go down, you know? And so, uh, Always look for indecisions at the top of your trends, at the bottom of your trends, or even look for it as it's going up. If you see, instead of you seeing green, strong green bodies like this going up, and you see indecision like this, that means that your trend is failing, and the momentum of it moving up is starting to wane, and the bears are starting to get control, or equaling out too, or at some point getting ready to overpower the bear or the bulls, and push this price back down. And so that is another way that you can use candles to kind of identify what's going on in the market and how to get in and out of, or even stay out of the market. Whenever you see several indecisions in a row like this and small body candles kind of going sideways, that's called consolidation. And so that's when market makers are kind of like balancing the sides between the bears and the bulls, trying to get them all on one side of the market so that, in hopes that they can push them in the direction they want to go. And so that's very important. We'll touch on that more later. Um, and those are just some ways that you can kind of look at candlesticks and kind of see what they are, which way the market's going, who's in control. Is it a good time to get in? Is it a good time to get out? Or is it just a better time to sit on my hands and just wait? You know, and there's several other things that we can be going over and showing you, but I'm going to wait until the next video to show you those. I'm just going to go ahead and stop from right here because I feel like that's enough for you to go ahead and digest, wrap your brain around, maybe find some charts that you're familiar with, and kind of put to use some of the stuff that you've learned in this video, and maybe that'll help you with your trading. And so stay tuned. We got more coming. This is just part one of this series of candlestick of videos. If you got any questions, write them in the comments below. We'll answer them for you. Uh, Hope to see you soon. Thanks for tuning in. I can't wait for it. I'll see you.